All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this great ski presentation from one of our fellow athletes, Matthew Fields. Matthew is going to take you through a presentation on skiing, what is made for healthy eating around it, snacks, meals, and things that you should really consider that isn't just made for skiing, but could be made for every sport as well, and a lot more. So without further ado, I'm going to pass things over to Matthew to start things off. Matthew?
Good evening, everyone.
Oh, sorry, Matthew. One other thing. If anyone does have any questions, please just enter them into the chat, and then we will respond to them either throughout the presentation or at the end of the presentation. All right. And I saw one more person just come in. Just want to make sure they're good.
Are we getting a post for tonight, Ryan?
I don't think so, no.
I think you should tell everybody to go on mute.
Yeah, so thank you, Therese. That's my next thing. Wendy, welcome aboard. Just wanted to let you know we are recording tonight's session. So just letting you know. But yeah, if everyone can mute themselves so that we can make sure that we do hear Matthew, that would be great. And then Matthew, there's been just a couple of requests just for making sure that you speak a little bit slower, just so everyone can hear you. And
Gotcha. Got it.
All right, that's it. Over to you, Matthew.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Is everyone having a good day? Everyone good? Okay. So when we talk about, routines, what comes to your mind when I say routines? What does it mean? You think, well, it could go with any sport. The most important thing is sticking to it. So I have something that is going to help you understand routines a lot better through my eyes. Here we go. Okay. So this, hold on. One sec. There we go. So this is a project that I put together, and this is the guide to alpine skiing. And what this is going to show you guys is kind of like what I do before I compete. Okay. So everyone comfortable with that now? So let's get going. So obviously, I want to just thank a couple of people that have helped me through this project, my personal trainer and Carla, and my mom and dad. This is a little bit about me. I've been in Special Olympics now for 17 years, now 18. I've been to provincials, national, and I did a worlds in 17. And, there's a lot of things that I do throughout my years of being an athlete. And the cool thing is right now, as everyone may know, is that, well, I'm headed off to another Worlds in 2023, which is in Kazan. So that's really exciting. But the one thing I want to get to tonight is the purpose of this. The purpose of this guide is to show you through my eyes as an alpine skier, to understand and develop ways to help you prepare for tougher competitions at any level. It's based off my experiences with all my coaches, others that have inspired me. Todd Brooker was one. And the one thing he said to me was, the hill is challenging you. And the other one was, it's all the next skate. Trust me, this will be an adventure for you. There we go. So in preparation for any competition, I like to say that you got to pick 5 simple exercises, right? We all know what simple exercises probably may mean, right? Well, for me, I chose squats, controlled arm swing, lateral hip sway, a straight arm plank with leg raise, reverse lunges, and this is what I stick to. But you can do the same for any of your sports, as long as you stick to the golden rule, which is you pick 5 simple exercises you can do when you're coming to your competitions. So doing squats. Now, obviously, everyone knows how to do a squat, right? Sounds simple, right? Well, if you exaggerate it too much, then it really doesn't work. The idea is that all of the power from a squat is from your legs. And what I always say is that your knees should not be passing your shoes. Your knees should be controlling the movement. Your hips are doing everything, because if your knees start to bend too far, then you're really putting a lot of strain on yourself, and it's not good. So control the movement and control the tempo when you do a squat. Okay. Now, this next exercise may sound really, really simple, right? It's about controlling the movement. When you do an arm swing or anything, it's about controlling the movement. It's not just doing it so fast you're gonna, swing your arms around 50 times and you're like, yep, I did. But it's about controlling the movement and doing it slow and not, making it hard for yourself. And that sounds pretty simple, right? Because obviously, if you're doing an arm exercise, you got to do it slow, and tempo is important to anything. And remembering that when you do something with your arms and you're swinging them up, remember that you've got to feel the stretch in each of the muscles that you're doing. Okay. This one is very important to any skier. Is, as we can see here in this picture, this is sort of like exaggerating me as if I was on the hill. Okay. And over here, this is, we like to call a lateral hip sway, which is very important for a skier. Because if we think about, hip weight distribution, right? I always think of putting all that weight on my uphill ski because I want to push against the snow. I don't want to have, everything so close together. But this exercise here is made to imitate me as if I was on the hill in a lateral way, keeping my posture steady, but keeping everything neutral. Okay. And the other thing is that when you do this exercise, remember that your butt's gotta go out. It is absolutely crucial when you do this exercise, because if you don't, you're gonna feel really, really bad. And you want to feel the stretch in the back of your legs. Okay. This next one is straight arm plank. And I know everyone's done straight arm plank before, huh? Sounds simple, right? Well, for this one, it involves the legs. And the idea of a straight arm plank is to engage the core. And now every sport that you do, you've got to engage that core. You've got to make it strong. So when you're doing a plank like the way I'm doing it here, make sure that you're not arched. If you're arched, then you're really going to put strain on your lower back and you are not going to feel good. So you want to be neutral. So everything here is neutral. And the other thing is that my arms are straight. And the other clue that I always say is think about a box. Has anyone heard that expression? Think of the box that it's underneath you, right? And so if you imagine it as if there was a box sitting underneath me, then everything would be stationary, because obviously I have pressure on my hands, but what I want to have is my shoulders are underneath. Okay. And reverse lunges. Now if anyone has anything to do except for lunges every single day, this is something that any sport, you have to use your legs. Again, controlling the movement. It's not about doing it fast. It's not about not doing it quick. It's very controlled. So I always think about it as, the 3 seconds. 3 seconds on the way down, 3 seconds on the way up. And the other thing is that you don't do the movement fast, because I will tell you, it really strains your knee, and you want to control the movement as you do it. Okay. Once you've finished all of the exercises that you just done, you're going to do it all over again, because it's important to repeat it. Because once you've completed all of this, then you're off to the races, basically. And this routine is very, very important to all alpine skiers. You're not just competing against each other. Whatever you're doing, it's challenging you, right? The element on which you guys are competing on, it's challenging you. And the other thing is, it's all about you. You are the competition. The results, that's in the future. It's all about what you can do. Okay. So we're gonna do a bit of a quick check here. Remember, moving the body around, moving your body around. Okay. I know that all of you that do sports, you got to move your body around. You got to keep yourself, moving around, and then controlling the movements. Like I said, it's all about controlling the movement, and also staying in tempo and be consistent. Don't do it fast, because if you do it fast, then you're really in trouble. And also have fun with it. I want you guys to understand that a routine like this one I just showed you is the ingredients to being successful at any sport you do. It's about focusing. Okay. Now, when it comes to eating, as an alpine skier, it's very, very important to have a well-balanced meal every single day. And as most of us would say, what should I be eating? What should I, eat every day? It's about what you put in your body. Because whatever you put in your body makes or breaks. Because we need to have good food in our body. We want energy. We want to be ready. And the most important meal of the day that I always say, and I'm going to say it now, is breakfast. Okay. When we think about breakfast, we got to have something that we can have before we go for our competition. We want to be ready. We want to be fueled up, and we want to have something that is going to give us that energy. And the other thing is that for snacks, now during competitions, you guys have to understand that eating during a competition is very, very important. And the other thing is making sure that you have something like a granola bar. Your water is very important as well. And, having something with you so you don't feel hungry. And, The other one is lunch. Have a good lunch, you know, and then have a good dinner, right? If you follow all four things, you are going to have a successful day. And let me show you about breakfast. So again, remembering that what you eat is very important during the day, right? So when we talk about breakfast, we want to have our meat, which is our protein. You could have eggs, grains, milk, and your fruits and vegetables, right? So it's very, very important that we all understand that the most important meal of the day is breakfast, because you're starting your day, you're getting ready, and you need to fuel up. Now, the other thing that is very important during the competition, everyone, is that we have many, many things that we need to eat during a competition, right? It's best to have something with you. So you could bring a banana. You could bring, I don't know, granola bars. You could bring maybe a little, maybe whatever is for you. So you've got to make sure that you're eating the right stuff during the competition, because you don't want to feel hungry. You want to feel ready. Lunch, same thing. Everything that you eat during lunch.
And I spoke to the happy 29-year-old all about it. Bye.
Okay, that was absolutely ridiculous, whatever what that was. That was rude. So again, remember that lunch is very, very important. Okay. Dinner. This is when you finish a competition, you're done for the day. This is very, very important that this is where you're done, you're finished. This is important too. You know, having that big meal, settling down and keeping yourself, you know, happy that you're not going to be competing the next day, but you have to be sure that you had a good meal and you're ready to go basically to bed, which unfortunately sounds really weird. Now, your nutrition is very, very important. Having consistent meals every day. I don't know how many of you do, but it's really important. Drinking a lot of water, having a light snack. Don't feel hungry. You've got to fuel yourself every single day when you're competing. And also staying on track of what you're eating during the day, because what you put in your body will do many things. And it's really, really important. And the other thing is follow the food guide and make sure you're reading those labels, because whatever you put in your body, again, it's all about keeping yourself healthy. Okay? Now, many of us know that any competition that I do, there's always that thing that comes up usually and says, how do you actually get in the zone? One of the most important things for me as a skier is that I've got to have an explosive start. And it's because if I don't have an explosive start, then it doesn't do much. But this is very important. It's getting out of that gate at high speed. And the other thing is fast and flat. What do I mean by that? It's keeping my skis on the ground and keeping them flat. And also, the other thing is remembering that the first three gates, and then also building up momentum, which just basically means rhythm. Because if I don't do these three things, then it's going to look just really, really terrible. But it's important that I have an explosive start. I keep my skis flat and fast, and also gain momentum. And also the other thing is having an aggressive line. For any person, if you are a skier like I am, it's about getting aggressive. Don't feel afraid. You've got to push yourself. And if you don't push yourself, then what happens after could result in different scenarios, right? So the next part to show you, again, quick check, is that never think about your competitors. And find your line and stay on it the whole way. Because if you worry about this too much, then your mind's going to be going, what the heck have I done? Because A, you're worried about your competitors. Don't think about them. The only thing I want you to think about is you. You are the person that's competing. Stay on your line the whole way. The other thing is, for any skiers, is that sticking to, skiing itself, is that most of us always say, first three gates ain't set. We'll set the rhythm up for you. And the last two gates, that's where it really comes in. Because when I pass those two last gates, I've got to be straight. And enjoy the moment. If you win, you win, right? As they say, you win, you lose, right? And it's very, very important that we all take that into consideration. To close, hopefully you got a chance to complete and understand this routine that I do. And the reason why this warm-up is very, very important is to be successful. We need to focus on ourselves. Don't focus on others. And, well, it doesn't work like that. And the next time you're at your competitions, I want you to come up with a routine, something that you can do on your own, and make it your own. Because if something doesn't go right during a competition, never look back. Just keep going. Just keep going forward and focus. The future will decide it for you. And that is key to anything that I do. And you don't need to see that. But other than that, are there any questions for me? Any questions, everyone? Questions at all? You guys are, oh, wait a minute. Yes?
I used to do leadership camp once from my schools about 2 years ago. I did the same thing.
Okay.
Kind of a leadership camp. All their activities, the whole thing.
Oh, good. So.
Sports as well.
Oh, wow. That's good. So, anyone else have a question? Robert, what do you got there, my friend?
How long have you been skiing for?
How long have I been skiing for? 25 years.
Holy.
That is so amazing.
25 years, guys. Goes along quick.
Matthew, I just want to step in for 1 sec. So I stopped the screen share just so we can all see each other again.
Yep.
And sorry about that interruption earlier. Someone just came into the chat and then into the call, and then when they do, they're automatically unmuted. So it was just like background noise, but I muted them, so we're all good on that front. We had a question from Angie come in asking if you do flips when you do skiing.
Well, I don't do flips. That's a different sport. That would be freestyle.
Okay, great. We had a lot of folks say what they had for lunch and for dinner. So glad to see that everyone's eating healthy and well. Jason, I see your hand up.
Yeah.
How's it going?
How old are you?
Oh,
Me?
if I were no, I think he's asking me. I'm 30, so
30. Okay.
30. So do you have a question there?
That was my question.
Oh, you wrote your question. Okay.
Matt,
Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes.
Yeah, Mike Wims has a question.
This is
Mike
Mike
Wims.
Wims. Congratulations on getting to Worlds. My question to you is, what have you been doing over the last 2 years to prepare yourselves for World with regards to exercise and working out, with gyms being open and closed and not being able to ski? Well, what have you been doing to stay in shape?
Oh, to stay in shape? Very good question, Mike. Over the past 2 years, obviously with the pandemic being a bit of a struggle, I've had numerous opportunities. Last year was typical. It wasn't as bad, but I did, however, get the opportunity to train a lot more during the weeks. Obviously, during the winter this year, I was lucky enough to do a training camp up north where I am through Christmas, and keeping myself fit. And so the most important thing I always say is you just got to stick to it. You just can't give up, because if you give up, then there's a real scare that you could be going, well, that's not good. You got to keep going. There's no stopping when I work out or when I ski. It's about being consistent and sticking to a plan that is going to make sense. And the other thing, yeah, go.
You talked about the plan. So have you been working with? With a personal trainer? Have you been working with mom and dad? What kind of things have you been doing to stay in shape?
To stay in shape, most of it has been my personal trainer as well as on my own. We've been since the funny thing is, after I think it was December 2020, that was when I had a bit of a thing I had to do. But the most important thing I had to do is getting into, back into working out, because I just had a medical thing that happened during December. And so what I had to do is rehab myself back to what I was doing before. And the most important, I will not tell you, absolutely confidential. But here's the thing. The point is that when I was rehabbing back into shape, I had to start slow, and progressively got a lot stronger. The other thing was that my mobility was really, really low, but it wasn't as bad because my strength was going to start to come back. So over the past year, last year, I was training probably 3 times a week, almost 5. And so, if we keep going the same direction right now, I would be almost as strong as I am right now, because, I have a hill, I've got snow. What else do you need?
Exactly. Matthew, sorry, just to move on, we have a few other questions with people raising their hands.
I got you.
So Cassie, you're first.
Cassie,
yes,
go for it.
I also did skiing as well too once, years ago as well.
Okay.
And also I did talk about myself, my meditation as well too once, from Rainbow Lodge. I did myself 2 once too.
Oh, good.
Because my mom's work from DSAT, she got me involved in my meditation as well too.
Well, good.
My past, skiing, all different sports that I do, like gymnastics, swimming.
Whoa. So
all that, yes.
Wow.
About
That's
myself
cool.
in the past.
So do you have a question? Yeah.
Thanks, Cassie.
Thanks, Cassie.
Okay, Lisa.
Lisa.
Hi. So Matthew Fields, it's not really a question, but it's a statement. I just wanted to add to your presentation.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about those exercises and then how you do the tempo, I just wanted to let you know, actually, that was very helpful. Why you said it's very important, because I have a tendency to go too quick. So I'm actually training for the Worlds for Kazan, Russia as well. So I've been focusing on that too.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know.
So I'm hoping to do day.
Okay.
I'm a cross country skier.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. Good to know. Good
Thanks,
to know.
Lisa.
Okay.
All right,
Trish.
Therese.
Matthew, you know me. First of all, what got you interested in skiing?
What got me interested? Well, funny. Good question there. Since I was 3, actually, or 4, funny story. So you guys are gonna all laugh. So during New Year's in 1999, it was literally bitterly cold, and so what happened was, I landed on my pole, and literally it was dark because we were skiing in the dark. It was hilarious. And so I break my pole in half. I'm like, oh, my dad comes down. He's like, oh, what happened? Oh, yep, broke it.
Oh my God.
And it was really, really funny. But the funny thing is that when I got interested in racing, that was in 2009.
Yeah.
And so that was when I said to myself, I want to start racing. And lo and behold, many years now, I've skied, at provincials, nationals, and going to another world, right? But I just love skiing. It's good exercise, keeps you moving, keeps you, motivated. Okay.
Do you do any summer sports?
Yes. Any summer sports? I do golf.
I do too.
Oh,
all
good.
right, we gotta keep moving here. Sorry, I want to make sure we get through everyone. Robert, you're next.
Robert, what would you like to ask?
This one, when you said in your presentation, so do you decide how fast you go, or is it up to what you like your motivation?
Motivate. Is it the momentum that you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to really determine how fast you're going to go, because what really happens is it's just doing it. You don't just think about going fast. It's just about getting out of that gate as hard as you can, because if you don't get out quick, well, so be it, because I've got to skate myself to the first gate and then start going, because there's no stopping. Okay, next person.
Jericho.
Next person. Yeah.
Matthew, where do you ski? In what region?
I ski in Collingwood, mostly in Collingwood, and also in Markdale, which is not far from Collingwood. So I ski at Blue Mountain, ski at a private ski club where I started many, many years ago. So it's pretty cool. Okay. Next.
Paige.
Paige. Do you like that?
I play on skiing competitions. Have you been in over these last 25 years that you have been skiing for?
Well, skiing competitions I can relate to is my very first regional, my very first provincial. You know, like I always say, you don't look back on a competition. It's kind of like it's history, basically. I just keep it, you know, fresh, but I don't really think about what just happened that year, you know. And it's really about going forward, as I say, you know. If it's a competition that I want to remember, I'll remember it. But if I don't really want to remember it anymore, well, it's still there, but I can still go back and say, wow, what did I do? Okay, next person.
Cassie.
Cassie, what would you like to ask?
Sorry, one side, we're just getting her off mute. There you go.
What would you like to ask?
Well, I had the same accident once. I think it's hilarious. My boots kind of cracked when I was skiing.
You know what?
Laughter.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I understanding being like a skier, it gives you that opportunity to push yourself. You know, just if you don't push yourself hard enough, you're not going to get there. Okay.
All right.
Next person.
Maria.
Maria. Yes. What would you like to ask?
I have a question. How do you spell Canada?
Yeah, really. CANADA.
CANADA. Huh?
I put it in the chat for you, Maria.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Okay,
Really?
so Liam.
Liam, what would you like to ask?
Okay, Mr. Matthew, what's behind you? And you're going after the pole.
So what do you want to ask?
About that guy who's behind you.
Oh, no, that's me.
Just kidding.
That's me.
That's you? And what have you been doing?
So what have I been doing? Well, I've been training. So basically, I've been training since like this whole pandemic started. So basically, I've been skiing, working out, skiing, the life you got to have, you know. Robert, what would you like to ask?
My last question is to you. So like I said, for like the second one, do you have to time yourself before, or does the gate just go and then you have to move the pace? You know what I'm trying to say?
Okay. So usually, you know, very, very good question. Sometimes I can time myself, but usually I like to have it, you know, when I'm at the hill skiing, usually whatever instructor has the timing equipment out, you know, you can just set it up and I can just run through a bunch of times and see if I get faster and faster. But the other thing I like to do is watch the other racers come down, because if I do that, then I have a very good picture of how I'm going to come down, right? Okay.
All right. Jason is next. He's held his hand up.
Okay. How do you know when it's your turn to come down the hill? Like, do they call names?
No. Well, here's the thing. Well, the thing is, it's usually by number. It's by number, so it's random. So you don't like, you're basically, it's really about whatever your level is in. So like if it's advanced, intermediate, novice, the idea is that whatever you're in, you got to stick with it, because whatever level of skier you are, or whatever competitor you are, you stick in that category, right?
One more.
Yes.
And do they announce when you're numbered up, or?
Yeah. What happens is when I go through the start,
okay,
and I basically blast out of there, what happens is they say number blah 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 blah. This person is in the gate. Go. And so basically that's what happens. Okay. Any more? Do we have any more?
Last question looks like Maria.
Maria, what would you like to ask?
When was the first time you skied?
First time I skied, jeez. Putting pressure on now. The first time I skied, that was wild. That was a while back. That was in like the 90s. You know, since I was 3, actually, that's when I started because my grandfather taught me a little bit about how to ski, you know, and
that's cool.
And my dad taught me a little bit, and then after that I had so many other instructors that helped me, you know, learn how to turn, learn how to stop, hockey stop, and you know, and now I'm doing this all on my own. So basically I'm just like, you know, I just keep learning about how to ski properly, how to keep my balance and everything. And you know what, if you just stick, you know, to something that you can do every day, the future holds everything.
Very nice. And Ryan, Ryan?
Yeah.
How do you spell country? Can you type it in chat?
Yep. All right, everyone. One thing. So first off, thank you to Matthew for taking time for the presentation and for speaking to us tonight. One thing I am going to also type in the chat is the passcode for the Reveal Your Champion, which is just SKI, so SKI. So write that code down and then enter it into your Reveal Your Champion stuff, and then you'll be good that way. But I think that does it for tonight. So thank you to everyone. I'm just going to stop the recording. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you at another event.